borrower estimated credit score. He got 760,000. Come on, what? All right, hold on. See, look.
Typo, man, just a typo.
All right, but like you gotta pay attention to detail though. Pay attention to detail. Like I wouldn't make that typo. Would you make that typo?
Chill out, Elridge.
Like real talk. Would you make that typo?
This in the video?
It's recording, but would you make? You would put.
No, I wouldn't make the typo. I guess I wouldn't make it.
All right, exactly. Like we gotta pay attention to detail. They're gonna be like, Elridge tough. But like I promise.
I think we tough in our own rights, you know. So
yeah, I wouldn't make that mistake if I'm asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not making that mistake. I'm reviewing the application over and over and over again.
Right. And our application is pretty easy.
Yeah. How you put 6 digits for a credit score that only got 3 digits?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, so what we got? We got the property. So the property is 4008 Kings Drive, Chalmette.
All right, what is the total?
Chalmette is next door to New Orleans, right next door.
All right, 3,200 square feet. How many bedrooms and baths? 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. Single family property. Is this your personal residence? No. Estimated current value of subject property, 100,000. Estimated after repair value, 500,000. Years of experience, 25. All right. Loan amount requested, 337,500. And look like he's going to do a new construction property. All right.
So the property of the picture, I think he had put a screenshot of, must have been one of his previous bills. This guy is a builder locally in New Orleans. I've been knowing him for a little while. He's a friend of my husband's. So, you know, as far as character and who he is, we know him. And he's worked on 2 of our properties already. So,
yeah, just let them know. Put the right credit score next time.
So in this area of New Orleans, they have a lot of new construction going on in this neighborhood. There's been new construction going on in this neighborhood for at least the past. Oh gosh, my son's 5, so they've been doing new construction in this area for about the past 5 years. So this is one of those appreciating areas of the market for us. The proximity to New Orleans, to this place, is probably a stone throw away. Like you could literally be standing in Chalmette and throw it across the street and be back in New Orleans.
All right, right now I'm getting on the MLS so we could confirm his ARV and see if we can make this loan of $337,500.
And so on the new construction, I want to add, Elridge, that we know his work. I have his set of his plans. We know what it looks like. If you doing new construction, you definitely need to get not only are you looking for like copies of the experience of that level, right? So if this person's billing $337,000, you want proof of experience to that dollar amount, to your loan amount, right? So if you're loaning $337 or you're loaning $400, you want to get 3 proofs of experience, and that could be anywhere from cash sales and HUD statements. You also want to get pictures of previous builds to see what kind of quality of work they're gonna put, what kind of build are they doing. You know, are we doing that fancy stuff with some tray ceilings, you know, high-end stuff to justify the $500,000 ARV. So you definitely want to get those photos. You want to get the stamp plans and all that other kind of stuff. We talk about this in the private money lending course. So you might want to check out that 45-minute webinar.
All right. So these are the comps, and we probably go in the neighborhood. We don't cross main streets or anything. So we stay in the neighborhood because in New Orleans, if you go 1 mile out, you will see that it's a totally different neighborhood, and those are not actual comps. So we stay within the neighborhood, and as you can see, they have a ton of new constructions that happened in the last 365 days. But it seemed like our builder, our borrower, is building a bigger house because of the living square footage that it ranged from that happened previously is 2,000, a little under 2,000. Then you have one new construction for 2,400 square feet right here. So, what you think, Anitra?
I think it's a no-brainer. The numbers, I mean, he was conservative on his ARV, being that his house, his living square footage is going to be more. You can clearly see we had one, he said 3,200, right?
Yeah, 3,200 square feet.
You can see where you had one at 2,400, 2,482, and it sold at $500,000. So he was being conservative with that. And
Go ahead, my bad.
And he's done builds like this before. I've actually walked one of his properties about 4 years ago.
And this is the level of new constructions that's happening in the neighborhood, and obviously they are putting some money into these projects. And that one sold at $205 a square foot. There's another one.
And you can see the average, if you go back, like when you get a second, you can see the average dollars per square foot, what that is. You got, it's consistent at about, it goes from 192 to 205. So
let's just get a few of them. All right, do a stat. All right, so the average dollars per square foot is 193. And an important note, as the property get bigger, the dollars per square foot is smaller. So Anitra and I like to round down. We be conservative on everything. So what would you round down to from 193?
I would round down all the way to 190.
Okay, so if we do 190 times 3,200 square feet, that put our ARV at 608. And this guy said 500,000. Which I like it because he's super conservative.
Right. So we're probably gonna extend him a deal. We spoke to him too off camera, and this situation is a little unique. He doesn't have the down payment money, and I know, you know, starting out, you're a real stickler for having that cash up front. So the reason why we ask for down payment money is because we want to have skin in the game, but you don't always have to have the actual cash. In this instance, he has 2 free and clear properties, so we're probably going to cross collateralize both of them because of him not having the 20% down payment. He doesn't have the closing cost, and he does not have the carrying cost. And so because he doesn't have the down payment, the closing cost, or carrying cost, we're going to take on 2 properties as collateral. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal, if that makes sense. Is that right, Elridge?
Yeah. So at Vertical Capital, our loan to value is 65%. So at the $337,000 he's asking for, we already below the 65% with the ARV being 500,000. But now since we coming up with the down payment and closing costs as well, we going to do cross collateralization, which our LTV, our 65% LTV, going to, depending on how much that other property is worth, could possibly go down to 50% LTV. So we putting debt on 2 properties instead of 1 because he need down payment assistance.
Well, in this case, we're putting debt on 3 properties. We're going to put debt on the lot. We're going to put debt on the 2 free and clear properties, right?
Yeah, well, Shit, that. See, you being a shark.
But it,
Yeah, you being a shark. Because if we put debt on 3 properties, we don't need debt on 3 properties. But if he willing to offer the other 2, then yes.
if they offer it, take it.
Yeah, and that would bring that, yeah, that would bring our LTV down to probably like 25-30%, depending on.
It's gonna be 25 because the other property, I know one of them is as is right now is 120, and he owned that free and clear.
Okay, yeah. So you have one that's worth 500,000, then you got one that's worth 120. So that's 620, and we probably come up with the down payment and closing costs from 337 to probably like 365, 360, and yeah. So we got $360,000 of debt on 620,000. So we had a 57, 58. I'm not sure. I didn't do the math or anything, but yeah, this is a VC approved, right?
VC approved, no brain on this.
VC approved. All right, we're gonna make him an offer that he can't refuse.